I imagine that earlier today, TKO staff were taking stock saying, well, we just got paid a boatload of cash by the Saudi Arabia government. We put on a show in Riyadh and we can just rest on our orals. I think that's how that phrase goes. They're saying, what do you mean we have Evolution 2 in 2 weeks? Well, shit, let's throw a whole bunch of matches together. Some that people will want to see and some we're having to pivot because people got injured. And now we have to rely on Raquel Rodriguez. Oh boy. Oh joy, oh bliss. I'm Joe Renton with my review WWE Raw. Yes, closing out June with another Raw review. I'm not going to be doing any Raw or SmackDown reviews in July. I will tell you why. Oh my, oh my, oh why. I'm going to be working a lot, and also here are the WWE related videos that you will be getting. Possibly Great American Bash. I don't know. It depends on if I can put up with Booker T. I really can't these days. I will for sure, though, be doing Saturday night's main event where hopefully Bill Goldberg will not beat Gunther, because if Bill Goldberg retires as champion, he won't, because Seth will cash in. It'll be stupid. Really, really stupid. So I expect them to do it. And also, you will get Evolution 2. So, a lot of movie reviews also coming up, and that's your update right there. So, this show was certainly something. I will say they had a pretty raucous crowd in Pittsburgh. The capacity is just under 20,000. They had about 14,000 according to WrestleTix. And look, it's great that they're trying to put matches together for Evolution 2. Rhea, good Lord, that smile. Good Lord, with respect. What a beauty she is. So happy for her and Buddy. Io looking as only she can look. And they are going to have a singles match. Good, because Io can pick her opponent. And she picked Rhea. I certainly would like to see that in the ring. And only there. Shut up. You don't know me. So, what happens at Evolution? That's what you wanted to happen. What? Whatever. It is what it is. Dominic says I'm not medically cleared, so you can't touch me. Dom, dom, dom. AJ Styles puts on glasses. It's the bifocals community, as Boss Antelope 86 told me on Twitter. Or the Lens Crafters community. And there we go. We're going to get that match at some point. Not at Evolution. That would be really weird if they decide to do that. I personally think that all the women referees that they have, they need to just have an all-woman show. They need to have women calling the action, bring some on commentary, have Mickie James call, do something, have Gail Kim call the action. I don't care. Have it be an all-woman production, at least on camera. So, New Day took on Finn and Mini Finn. It was a tag title match that certainly happened on television. It was something that had the crowd rolling. It's just I don't care about the tag team division in WWE. It's not that these teams aren't talented, but ever since the New Day, turned heel on Big E, they have had very, very spotty, good moments. And they beat... So let's see. I think the War Raiders beat Finn and Mini Finn. And then New Day beat the War Raiders, or the Viking War Raiders, at WrestleMania, if I'm right. And now Finn and Mini Finn beat them. So the titles just revolve between these three teams. To be fair, the Creeds are just pretty much toast, so we really can't feature them. I will say this much. At least they kept the pace up and the crowd was into it. It's just hard for me to care when we have just the titles going between all these same teams. So, Becky and Bayley clips. Sponsored by Jurassic World Rebirth. I watched a special screen of that last week. It was shit. It was really, really shit. That's actually why you didn't get a Raw review last week. Due in large part to the fact that the movie was long, and also I didn't really feel like watching Raw. I did see Becky versus Bayley. It was pretty good. It just wasn't worth reviewing the show for. Jackie, basically Jackie is talking to Bayley. Lyra interrupts. Pierce makes a match. Jackie's back. I mean, I don't know where Jackie's been. Hopefully she's doing all right, 'cause she was away for a while. Riyadh season package. Look, I hope the citizens of Saudi Arabia are doing well, but I'm sorry. I have a hard time buying into the fact that this is anything other than propaganda. We know about propaganda over here. We are currently run by a stupid government that decides on propaganda, and we the smart people with attached brainstems have to fight back. A Bill Goldberg package with actual music, none of this stupid shit that they've been playing, like they have for the theme of Raw or the theme of SmackDown. or various other themes that they have for pay-per-views. We get actual music. I don't know who the fuck it was, but it sounded like actual music. A full month of Pat McAfee without commentary. Can we make it a full year? Does Pat McAfee really ever need to come back to commentary? No, I don't think he does. For the big events, for an occasional match, if you want to set something up, maybe. But the less of him, the better. And whether I like his, views or his opinions or whatever off air or, off of WWE air, that doesn't really factor in. He's just super annoying and does not need to be heard all that often. So, SmackDown is back to 2 hours this Friday. I'm still not going to be watching it. Also, they are taping SmackDown as I'm recording this review because TKO is giving the talent the holiday off. Last week, Penta took out Gable because he needs shoulder surgery. Good. Maybe we can get rid of this El Grande Americano Frappuccino thing. We can't, though. I am not allowed to know peace. And the Creeds are lost, especially Brutus. They're turning Brutus into an idiot, apparently. I mean, just the way they're making him sound. I'm lost without you. You need help, young man. And what do? The Creeds are saying, listen to Ivy. Ivy hasn't won a goddamn match in a while. I mean, what are you going to listen to her on? Here's how you get pinned quicker so you can go home. And I don't mind Ivy. I'm just saying she has not had a concerted effort put into her in a while. So Pierce and Aldis agree with Balor that Roxanne doesn't have to put on the red dress, and she can be a tag team champion if her and Raquel defend the titles against a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT at Evolution 2. I don't know who the team from Raw is going to be. I don't know who any of the teams are going to be. Somebody said Zarya and Sol Ruka from NXT, and I'm for that. I don't know who takes the pin, so it has to be somebody from SmackDown. So what's B-Fab doing? She never beats anybody. Put her in it so she can take the fall. Asuka and Kairi could be the team, I guess, from Raw. Rusev and Sheamus had a massive clubbing match where we had camera angles on the apron and everything, straight out of World Class. And actually, not a bad match. Went a bit long, probably about 5 minutes longer than it needed to go. But it was well done. They were willing to lay the shit into each other. But then, Rusev kept kicking Sheamus while he was there in the corners. And then Sheamus kept encouraging him, saying, kick me in the corner. I'm firing up on the Great White. It is not Rusev Day. And I'm going to kick you with the bro kick and knock you down. That's not a way to finish an REM reference, but here we go. This really kept going, and quite honestly, I think it probably could have ended sooner. We had clubs, a need for two, the accolade, but fought out to the outside, near countout. And then Rusev takes out the protective pad on the turnbuckle, thing. The little thing that attaches to the post. This does not look like anything that attaches. But then manages to get Sheamus right in the throat. Sort of. It's more of his sternum, but whatever. And then a kick. 1, 2, 3. A Machka kick. So, that's it for that. And show's over. I kid, of course. Evolution 2 plug. Aldis and Pierce say, we're going to have a battle royal. Oh boy, such originality. Much wow. I'm sick of battle royals. I'm sick of the fact they have it on AEW programming and WWE programming. 3 ways, 4 ways, multiple person matches for no reason. Battle royals. I mean, just please stop it. Stop it. Don't worry, they're only going to have 1 battle royal at Evolution 2. AEW is going to have 2 at All In. So, nevertheless, the Creeds and Ivy are backstage. This means the end of Americano. Except then suddenly somebody shows up in the Americano costume, and the way he walked, I go, oh God, it's Kaiser. Why? Why do they want to make me not interested in Kaiser? For what goddamn reason? What did Kaiser do to deserve this? Triple H ain't going to be fucking seeing heaven for his goddamn booking here. And then Cross attacks Sammy and damages his ribs for the main event. The Cross is not in, so I'm not sure what he was trying to do. So, Evolution 2 rundown, I think it's like 2 or 3 matches. Here's Gunther talking about Bill Goldberg, and he kept calling him Bill Goldberg, and I was amused by the fact he kept calling him Bill Goldberg. He vows to blow up a man of Goldberg's stature. Don't know if I would have said it like that, especially as an Austrian man, but what do I know? Eradication. Who's next? Who is next? I just find it funny how Gunther says this. Oh, here's Seth and a penguin toy that was burned in the beginning of Superman 3. It's funny that Heyman was holding on to the Money in the Bank briefcase, implying there's money. You know, there's like some value in there when he barely paid any of the ECW talents properly or at all in some cases. And I will never let that go because the son of a bitch deserves to be ridiculed for it. Gunther mentioned, he's like, you know, you got a big smile on your face for somebody that flew halfway across the world to accomplish absolutely nothing. And Ron said, no, we just flew over there because I vowed as long as there's breath in my body to make sure CM Punk is never a world champion. And then here's Punk. And then Punk just basically starts brawling with Seth. We get a near stomp. We get Seth running into the goddamn crowd. And Punk's all upset. And Gunther was standing in the corner, but then he stares down Gunther a little bit and then shoves him and says, stay out of my business. We're going to get Gunther versus Punk. It's not going to be for any title at SummerSlam, but I'm all for it. Honestly, I think that or you get a three-way. It's Gunther, Punk, and Seth for the world title because I think Seth is going to cash in on Bill Goldberg. Then LA Knight shows up just with, I don't know if he had like a cup of cheese or what the hell that was. But he attacks Seth and they brawl into they brawl through the crowd or on the steps a little bit, and there we are. JD says that Roxanne should be the new champion. We get a Kairi Sane package. Lyra and Bayley, by the way, have made their entrances during the interim. And the winner faces Becky at Evolution. They can both work. I think that Lyra's work is actually pretty smooth, and I really like Bayley. These two are very accomplished at what they do. The crowd was a little muted at first. I don't know if they knew how to react to both because they're fans of both. I'm not sure. This did keep going, though. There was a big superplex spot where it seemed like Lyra might have, just been tweaked, might have tweaked her back and everything after the Boston Crab and that. I was worried that Lyra might have hurt her neck because she was doing the pins and needles thing with her hands, and then one of my friends pointed out to me that, well, she's a bird, so she likes to flap her wings. Thank you very much. You know who you are. But we then get roll-ups, and we get a double pin, so it's a draw. So, gee, I wonder what's going to happen for Evolution 2. It's going to be a three-way. It's going to be these three lasses in a three-way. 2 Irish women and 1 of semi-Hispanic descent. I've seen that movie before. It'll be the second strangest Oreo I have seen this side of a piece of the internet I'm not allowed to talk about. So, they did fight into the crowd, though, Bayley and Lyra, and they even fought to a box, so it one of the equipment cases, so it was 2 girls, 1 box. So, like those conjoined twins where one got married and everything, but you know what? Never mind, let's just move on from that. So Knight and Punk are talking backstage. Knight stumbles a little bit, but there we are. We are just going to get we get Knight versus Rollins at Saturday Night's Main Event, so there we are. And there is a very, very beautiful brunette checking on Sammy. I feel faint. Is she available? I think many were thinking that. So then Bron and Bronson. Braun Steiner against Here Comes Bronson against Penta and Sammy. Sammy with the bad ribs, Penta with the funny mask, and Braun with the weird tan, and Bronson with the good hair. And Heyman just sitting there like a weird penguin toy. So the Real American Beer ad played during the break here. I'd like to point out that Hulk Hogan deserves the absolute worst to happen to him. Sammy's selling his ribs. Steiner is a freak athlete. We do the arm snap thing to Braun, but he decides to not sell it. Good job. And we get a couple of close near falls. And then a Steiner line, a spear, it got stopped into a kick. And then a big old spear, 1, 2, 3. And Sammy got pinned. And then Jay showed up with a chair. Jay, the same guy that lost the title while his son was watching. That proves just how much of a champion you didn't deserve to be. Jay, you lost in front of your kid. Ha ha. So anyway, he chased the heels off with a chair. And everybody ran while Heyman waddled like the burning toy at the beginning of Superman 3. But that's it. That's the last Raw review until after SummerSlam. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Renthland. Until we meet again, happy trails to you.